Dan Williams, Survive Outdoors. Today we're doing bow safety tips in a deer stand, as well as a couple little tips that I've been doing over the last 35 years. Some may like it, some may think it's worthless and not help. But I tell you what will be worth it is the safety feature. So we need to talk about that. Approximately 6,000 hunters reported, so that's an underreported number, fall out of deer stands every year in the US. Out of that, about 300 to 500 die. Tons go unreported. And the reason why that is we're guys. You know, we have hubris and we're not going to go into the urgent care ED. Alcohol, I'm happy to say, accounts for way less than 1%. That just gets embellished and exaggerated over time. Yeah, it happens. So the big issues that cause individuals falling out of a deer stand, especially a climber or a semi-permanent stand, is we're talking about hubris, being too excited when you see the buck, not knowing where your feet are at on your steps, not wearing a safety harness is obviously a big one. Height is too high, and crawling in and out of the stand are really common and account for a lot of the injuries. One of the things you're going to need to have, you're going to carry your bag. And we're going to talk about why I carry two bags, small. So when you have your bag, you want to have some type of saw. This is the Pocket Boy Silky Saw. You want at least about a 5 to 6 foot radius around the stand. You want to cut these stobs off for sure. I'm going to get to this, obviously, and you're going to cut all these away and down low to the ground. You don't plan on falling. No one plans on getting hurt. But the issue is that if it happens, you don't want your torso penetrated or a leg penetrated. Any rocks under your stand, remove those, please. You will be very thankful. God forbid you fall out of your stand. So that's a really important move you need to make before you basically plant your butt up in that stand. One of the things I do, and this is not on safety, been doing this for years. I take a cotton ball, I take a rubber band, and I just wrap it around at the end of the arrow. Now we're not going to, obviously I need a smaller rubber band would be ideal. I don't want to mess up all of the fledgings there. Then I take some, you can use estrus buck rub, you could use doe urine, fox urine, I don't care. Anything. Your first arrow is really, as you know, one of your most important shots. What I do is I get up in the stand and I shoot my first arrow. I pick a spot about 20 yards and I don't have to get up and down, and I leave that arrow there. Now I have a nice scent in the air. I also know how that arrow is going to shoot at 20 yards. Well, I should know before I get in the stand. However, it gives me a nice marker on the ground. If something jumps up on me, I don't have to then get out a rangefinder. You should pre-mark those anyway. So that's something I've done off and on for about 30 years, and I really think that it has benefited me. So I have my main backpack with my med bag is in there, some emergency stuff is in there. And then what I carry up into the stand is a smaller bag, some bow accessories. I even have a T-square because what happens if, you know, my string stretches or anything like that, I can measure and see what the brace height is. I have some snacks in here and a bottle of water. I don't want this down there. And if you're going to get hurt, you're basically is when you fall. You're not going to get hurt up in this stand. So this is going to be for your snacks, your water, some of your accessories for your bow, your med bag, leave at the base of the stand. God forbid you go down there and meet it sometime during the hunt. So that's important. As it gets colder, early November, if you're out west, it's going to be October, and you have a permanent stand, it's not graded. Let's say it's a wooden bottom stand and like a platform. You can do ash. Take a little bitty bag of ash from a fireplace, or take some salt. We'll get to that. And you're going to put that on the stand because it's going to keep you from slipping. You're going to have frost on that stand early in the morning before sunrise. That's a nice little trick to help you when you're standing on it. Now, I have read one report, maybe it's happened worse, some jerk of a conservation officer nailed someone for salt because they got him for having salt up in the stand. And I'm like, are you kidding me? These are salt granules. This isn't a salt block, but you're not supposed to have it. So, need to mention that 98.9% of all the conservation officers would be good with it, but you're going to run into one. The other thing that I've seen, I never do it, is I take my bow, I always put it above or equal. Why is that? Well, you fall and you put it down low, and I've seen a lot of hunters do that. They'll put it down low so they can reach down and pull it up. You fall, that's how you're going to get a broadhead inside your belly or your leg or your arm. So hang your bow by your head or a little bit high, much safer. Why risk the 1 in a million? So 80% of deer stand injuries occur climbing in and out of the stand. Anything over 15 feet high, you're going to accelerate fast. 20, 25 feet, you're accelerating about 30 miles per hour for a 200-pound man. Not good. And the injuries can be anything from intra-abdominal, ruptured spleen, fractured neck, broken leg, you name it. I've treated in the last 4 years probably a half a dozen deer stand injuries. One had a harness on and fell, and he wasn't that far and just cut the harness. So there's a lot of things that can happen. Hope this helps a little bit on safety, and if you got to have it at 25 to 30 feet, and I'm not going to change your mind, man, please wear a harness. All right, guys, good luck. Be safe out there. Keep your eyes on the rise and your face to the wind.